Hello, today we're going to talk about FortiAnalyzer to demonstrate the value in some of its capabilities. FortiAnalyzer is Fortinet's centralized analytics and reporting platform. It collects logs and security events from all your Fortinet devices. These could be FortiGates, FortiSwitches, FortiAPs, and even FortiClient, and turns that raw data into actionable insight. Think of this as a security intelligence hub for your Fortinet security fabric. It's going to give you visibility, analytics, and automation. FortiAnalyzer transforms raw data into decisions. It's going to help teams detect threats faster, respond smarter, and make reporting a little bit easier as well. So let's talk about the dashboard. This is where FortiAnalyzer instantly shows you the health and security posture of your network. Here we're looking at the status dashboard. It's really a quick shot of system health, right? Log usage, performance of your system. It's really a perfect at a glance view for your administrators. The IoT dashboard is automatically going to identify and classify connected devices. It's going to help you spot manage or unmanaged devices and also vulnerable assets. We can see we got a total of 237 devices, how many are identified and unidentified. We can see the different types of vendors. We can see that alert distribution over all the different categories as well. And then we can see the vulnerabilities by the different vendors out there that may be in your network. SOC dashboard really brings together real-time threat detections, top incidents, event trends. We can see an event map where we can see right now we got some low and high severity issues going on with these different devices. We can see, do we have any high severity incidents? Is there any outbreak alerts? Do we have compromised hosts? And we can click on, for instance, the compromised host, and we can come in here and we can see that there is one infected computer on the network. And then we're able to start drilling down into that and getting an idea of what's going on. Together, these dashboards turn that data into clear visual intelligence, allowing teams to monitor, assess, and act a little bit faster. Next, I want to take you over to FortiView. This is where customers can visually explore activity in the network, right? So if we look here, we can see applications and websites. We're going to start seeing the top applications. It's going to start filling in here. We can see how much bandwidth each application is taking. We can see the sessions and the number of clients that are using that service, right? If you don't know what it is, you can come over here, you can click on it, and it's going to give you more detailed information about what that application is, if there's any risks involved. Again, we can click into that and we can see how many, what clients are using this. And again, everything that you see here is drilled down. These FortiViews are taken from the raw logs, so we can get a lot of information with just a few clicks. We have another one for threats and events, and we can come in here and we can see what the indicators of compromise on the network are for the last 7 days in this case. And right now we do not. We have one, and that's that MacBook Pro that's infected with some spyware command and control software on it. So FortiView again turns that raw data into clear, actionable visibility. Is perfect for both troubleshooting and proactive threat hunting in your network as well. I also want to talk a little bit about incidents and events. This is all about correlation and investigation. So it's really going to automatically correlate these different security events and group them into incidents. And again, we can click here by severity, and we can see we got a couple different devices in here that have high severity. We got an Ubuntu workstation out there that looks like it's using some proxy and DNS requests to proxy avoidance URLs and some insecure SSL connections that were blocked there as well. But what you could do is if we decide that we want to make this an incident, we want somebody to investigate it on the team, we want to start adding reporting and more data to it, we can come on here and say, let's click and create an incident. And then we're going to be able to select, do we want to create a high, low, or medium severity? Status is going to be new here, but you can see as you're working an incident, you can close them, you can respond, you can say that this was a false positive. And then you can assign it to different users that are using your system there. So if I move on over into incidents, we can see that we have some here already. So again, I'm going to click on one so you can see what it looks like. We got the incident summary, we got the affected endpoint and the user, what asset they may be using. This could be multiple assets, right? And then we can come down here and see an incident timeline on when things were detected within the traffic logs associated with this device. And then finally come down here, we can see those events that were triggered and put together and created into an incident. This one right here is being created by a playbook, right? So if we come down here to automation, we can see playbooks, and what playbooks are is lets teams automatically respond to incidents, right? So it's going to enable automation and a consistent response. These are all based on the triggers that we saw, and so I'm just going to open one to get an idea of what some of these look like, right? So I'm just going to do a compromised host here. So we got the event trigger of those events that we saw, and then we're going to get the events. We're going to create an incident automatically from these events from the event monitor. We're going to run a report to get information about it, and we're going to attach that to the incident, and then we're going to get some data enrichment through indicators of compromise and things like this, and it can be done automatically. You can create playbooks from scratch. You can use ones that are built in. You can have them trigger a quarantine for a device. There's a lot of use for playbooks from FortiAnalyzer that you can use. They're really meant to simplify the response to incidents in your network. Another thing I want to talk about, reports. These are all about compliance and executive reporting, right? We come with, FortiAnalyzer does come with a lot of built-in reports, and we can see all the definitions here. We're going to pick on FortiGate here and kind of get a look in here and see all these different reports that we can do, right? So we could do things like SOC 2 compliance reports. There's PCI, there's HIPAA, there's NIST. We also have some interesting ones here. Cyberbullying indicators report. This is good for K-12, right? We also have, let's see, self-harm is another one. Self-harm risk indicators report. So this can really help see what's going on in the network. High bandwidth application usage report. I mentioned HIPAA. There's a HIPAA compliance one there. These all can be ran as is, or they can also be copied and then created and changed on the data that you want to see. So just for instance, I'm going to pull up something like a NOC would be interested in. What's the FortiGates doing out there on the network? How's the performance on them, right? So here, we can come down here, we can see the CPU usage, we can see the memory usage, we can see the logs per second, we can see the bandwidth rate on those firewalls as well, and we can see the sessions. One more example of that would be just a daily summary. This is just going to be a simple report that's customized to show somebody, I just want to know how much traffic was used in the last 24 hours. I want to know what my top applications are by severity. I want to know what the top threats were in the environment for the last 24 hours. And then we can see a breakout of top website traffic, application traffic, how many incidents we have with high severity, that compromised hosts again, and the top users by traffic. It's a simple report. It was created to give to somebody in an organization that just wanted to see these high level numbers. Okay, one thing I do want to talk about is FortiAI. So FortiAI will automate and help analysts perform complex tasks like queries, reporting. You can have help with creating playbooks like we kind of talked about here. You can see it kind of guide you, show me statistics for malware in the last 5 days, get a list of compromised hosts in the last 3 days. You can start typing in, whatever you want in here. I'm going to say provide me a list of applications that, let's say, source 192.168.10.24 used in the last 24 hours. And you can see I don't have to fix my my spelling, but I won't. I'm going to leave that right there, and it's going to know what we're talking about. So now we're going to let this run, and it's going to get the statistics from the raw logs for that source. That source could be a user. That could be a device. You could just ask for the application. Who used this application? Who used this website? What websites has XYZ used in the last 24 hours? So you can see here it's going to spit out what applications we used and all the information about it. If there's security concerns, it's going to let you know. It's going to let you know how to mitigate as well if there's some suspicious activity going on. So that's a quick high-level overview of FortiAnalyzer and how it can be used in your environment. It's more than just logging and searching through logs, although it can do that as well. So, in summary, FortiAnalyzer turns the Fortinet security fabric into a unified intelligent system. It's going to provide 4 things for you, really: visibility, correlation, automation, and reporting. It's going to help you go from reactive firefighting to proactive automated security operations. So, thank you very much.